Yo, what's up? This is FantasyFling with dfsarmy, and we are doing a Battle Royale first look on Underdog Fantasy. First look draft. Let's go. All right, so let's start with the game tiles. And if you've never done the Battle Royale before, just real quick, this is a draft that you do on Underdog Fantasy. It's a DFS style draft, really fun. $7 entry fee, $50K to first, $400,000 in prizes. Takes about 5 minutes to do it. I really like doing these early in the week, getting my DFS juices flowing for the week, kind of getting an idea of what is the field going to do. And this can be, obviously this is an underdog draft, but, we can extrapolate this over to FanDuel, over to DraftKings, just kind of get an idea of, who does the field think are the best plays. So we are going to hop in a draft here in a second. We're going to look at some ADPs, see what the field is starting to do. But wanted to start with an overview of the whole main slate. There are some spots, obviously, that we want to target, some game environments, some team totals. And it's just, the bye week start this week, so it's actually a smaller slate. We got 9 games, 10 games. So 5, 4, and 1. So 10 total games. I don't think there's like a ton of shootout potential on this slate, but there are some spots that definitely stand out. When I look at the Cowboys going on the road to play the Jets, these are two teams that are allowing a good amount of points. The Jets are allowing 30 points per game. The Dallas Cowboys are allowing 33 points per game. So really, these teams do not play defense. And Dallas, on the other side, they score a lot of points. They're scoring about 28 points per game. So I think Dallas stacks are going to be in play again. We saw Dak to Pickens really shoot off the other night, and there was, the Romeo Dobbs bring back. That was the crazy Sunday night game that ended in a tie. And, this potentially could go off. What kind of Justin Fields are we going to get in this game? I think, if we get a good Justin Fields, this game can be back and forth. So I'm thinking about doing some game stacks, little ping pong stacks, you name it, like a Dak stack with a Garrett Wilson bring back. Or maybe you just run Justin Fields naked and, you have your Dallas bring back. I don't know. You can attack this a lot of different ways. I will say this is one game that I definitely want a piece of. And then there's some other spots that stand out. We are going to be getting Jaden Daniels back this week. So I think this potentially sets up as a game of the week. Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders, going on the road to play Justin Herbert and, Omarion Hampton, Ladd McConkey. I mean, do we even really have to say Ladd McConkey at this point? Like, is he going to play good again? Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnson are kind of just taking all the production in the offense. But they lost. They got upset, kind of a trap game going against a rookie quarterback on the road, lost to the Giants last week. So this could be a bounce back spot for them. Both of these teams lost last week, and, both of these teams have contending aspirations. So I think this could potentially be a good back and forth game. Jaden Daniels, once again, he's actually projected to play this week. He's expected to play this week. I just did a draft. I've done one of these, and I got him in the last round. So Jaden Daniels is a guy that I'm going to target early in the week. I really feel like this week, I'm probably going to do most of my drafts on Wednesday, just get them out of the way, get that early edge, and then see, how this plays out the rest of the week. But this is a game environment I like. Another one, Detroit going against Cincinnati. Cincinnati has looked awful 2 straight games going against, some good defenses. They haven't been able to do anything offensively. No time for Jake Browning to throw, no time to get any of his weapons involved. And it's projecting the same way here again, Detroit. I think you could probably just play the Detroit side. Goff stacks. You could play Amon-Ra as a one-off. Gibbs, Monty is probably a guy you can get in the last round. So I'm going to try to leave a lot of my drafts with Detroit players, whether it's Amon-Ra, whether it's Gibbs, whether it's Laporta as kind of a scroll down tight end you could get. And I don't need to game stack this one. And then a couple other game environments that do stand out. Carolina, attacking them is always something that's going to be in play. I think Jalen Waddle is going to be a great value this week with Tyreek Hill out. So, Devin Achon is always in play. He's getting a ton of receptions. Maybe a contrarian to a stack. Tua you can get in the last round. You stack him up with Waddle. You stack him with Achon. So there's going to be some options here. And also, Miami doesn't have a very good defense as well. Miami is one of the teams allowing 29 points per game, almost 30 points per game, so a lot of points. Maybe Bryce Young finally gets a good game under his belt in the 2025 season. I definitely like Tet. He is a guy I will be writing up for DFS Army subscribers who get my weekly Underdog Battle Royale cheat sheet. By the way, guys, if you like these first look drafts, let me know. Hit that like button. And also, let me know who you were on this week. And let me know in the comments. Maybe there's someone that, I don't mention and you're thinking about and you like this week. So I'm interested to see. So this game, I think, has some potential for there to be a lot of fantasy points. And actually, it's a good spot for Chuba this week, dare I say it. He's a guy that I think will go very low owned that you could probably get in the last round. You probably don't even have to go there, but if you're doing a lot of these, maybe you want to mix up, your exposures in the last round. Chuba in a good matchup. No one will be on him. I think he could be a good play. And then here, last, we have Las Vegas going against Indianapolis. This definitely looks like a get-right spot for Indy. They lost last week. Close game. And, well, so did the Raiders. But the Raiders haven't been good. Geno hasn't been good. I like Indy here. I like Jonathan Taylor. This is a really good spot for him. He's obviously popular. He's going first overall in drafts. So, of course, I like Jonathan Taylor. So does the field. So does everyone else. But Tyler Warren's in play. I think we go back to Daniel Jones. He has so many different pass catchers that you can mix it up with. Obviously, Pitten's the number one guy. We saw Downs get involved last week. Adonai Mitchell was just so tilting last week. I had a lot of him and, just a couple bonehead plays. Should have had a big day. Didn't, but, he's potentially back in play. Daniel Jones, we're going to talk about Daniel Jones. I'm definitely going to write him up. Tyler Warren, I think, is the best stacking option. And then from there, it's Pittman. And, if you're playing a lot of Daniel Jones stacks, I think you get Downs a little bit involved. If we know Pierce is going to be out again, then maybe you get Adonai Mitchell involved. But Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren are the two top options. And then there's always the option to just run Daniel Jones naked because he is a good running quarterback. Last spot for the preview. We have Arizona looking lopsided here. I do think maybe Trey Benson is the guy that you could be on this week. If you wait at running back. But there's no Lamar Jackson. And when I say there's good edge in these drafts, we're about to look at the ADPs and do a quick draft. When I say there's good edge in these drafts, guys, like Lamar Jackson just was drafted in a draft that I did like 5-10 minutes ago, which is crazy. He's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. So early in the week, you get people that I just think aren't really paying attention to all the news yet. And I like Woody Marks this week. He's a late round target. Baltimore has been terrible. They have been the worst defense in the league. They're banged up. They don't have Lamar. They just look very broken right now. Maybe they surprise us, but giving up 33 points a game, give me some Texans players. Woody Marks, Nico Collins are definitely guys that we are going to be targeting. And then, CJ Stroud stack. No one's going to be on it. You could definitely stack that up there. But let's kind of look at some ADPs real quick. So I got to be honest, these first 3 picks couldn't agree more with these. Jonathan Taylor in a smash spot going against a Raiders team that's, it's a bottom 10 run defense. So that's a good spot. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, same thing. 30-point play team total for Detroit going against a Cincinnati team that's a bottom 10 run defense. we saw the Broncos, J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey rush for 200 yards over them last night. So this is a really good spot. I'm trying to get both of these guys in my drafts. Devin Achon going against Carolina. Same thing. Carolina, not the best run defense, just not the best defense overall. And I expect him to get a ton of dump offs from Tua, especially with Tyreek Hill out. He could even get more schemed up stuff. So I like that. Saquon Barkley, yeah, I could see it versus Denver. Denver's had a pretty decent run defense. However, Saquon, when it comes to like receiving backs out of the backfield, that is like Denver's Achilles heel. And because they just don't have the linebackers to cover. So I could see Saquon going off this week. If he does, it's probably going to be as a receiver out of the backfield. Marion Hampton, I don't love it as much this week. I think it's too high, personally. I think Washington is better attacked through the air, so I would probably not be on a Marion Hampton in this spot. And then, if you don't get really these top three guys, like, I'm fine waiting. Genty, it's not a superb matchup, but I could have got him in the last round of my draft that I just did. So yeah, give me Genty there. I like Javonte going against the Jets. I love Breece Hall. So Breece Hall, a really good matchup against Dallas this week, and second worst run defense in the league, graded by PFF with a 46 score right now. You can get Breece Hall at 29. Like, yeah, let me double up at wide receiver. Let me get a tight end. And then let me get Breece Hall. Like, and I'll reach on him a little bit in that spot. So when we look at wide receiver, Amon-Ra, clear top option. I agree with that. I like JSN. I don't love him as a second wide receiver. Give me Garrett Wilson against Dallas. Give me Pickens against the Giants this game. Again, both of these teams have not been very good coverage teams. I think the Jets, they have a 42 PFF score. So, yeah, I would love Pickens there, and he's going to get plenty of volume with Lamb out. I love Wilson as well. Nico Collins. I really like all three of these receivers here. Garrett Wilson, George Pickens, and Nico Collins above JSN, but I would have JSN after that. And I do believe that Amon-Ra is the top play on the slate. Like Tet here, good value at 26. Jalen Waddle, that's a fantastic value at 31. He's a good late round target. So, yeah, I don't think the field is adapted quick enough. And we're going to try to do as bunch of these as we can and take advantage early on in the week. Trey McBride, Tyler Warren, Brock Bowers, Ferguson. I love all these guys here. I like Goddard as a late round pick. Denver is terrible at covering tight ends. I like Laporta with a very high team total. So, yeah, I'm probably, the way this week is setting up, I think it's get one of these guys early. And if you don't, like, if you can't get McBride, Warren, Bowers, or Ferguson, I'm trying to get Laporta, Goddard. I think Waller's an acceptable play. And even Mason Taylor in that good game environment. But let's hop into one of these Battle Royales. We could talk through some of these players again if we have to wait a while. Yeah, 4 people. Normally, these go pretty quick. But let's kind of look at the dfsarmy domination station. Now, these are projections from our provider, so we have not put our projections in yet. We don't have our prop projections. So these are going to kind of be some baseline projections. And of course, I'm using FanDuel because they do half PPR, which is what Underdog is, half PPR. So Devin Achon projecting is a top guy. I could see it. I could see it for sure. Jonathan Taylor, Saquon. I would definitely have Gibbs over Saquon Barkley. Honestly, I'd probably have Jonathan Taylor over Achon as well. So cool. I love it. This went really fast. And we're picking second. So we're going to be able to get Achon or Jonathan Taylor. If Jonathan Taylor's there, I'll probably take him. We can also take Gibbs. But I don't know. The way this is going, I think if we get a chance to take Jonathan Taylor, we'll take him, and then I'll come around and take Amon-Ra, hopefully, if he's there. If he's not, I'll take one of those wide receivers in that Dallas and Jets game or Nico Collins. So let's see how this goes. 7 seconds left. This should be a fun draft. I hope this room is as soft as the last one because that was exciting. And there goes Jonathan Taylor. So we could take, Amon-Ra's not going to be there. I think Achon is probably the play here just because I'm not as worried about the vulture with Achon as I am Gibbs. Monty could totally kill Gibbs at the goal line. And that's the one thing with Gibbs. Gibbs is such a smash play when, Monty's out. But when Monty's in, it can be pretty painful. All right, so this whole first round is running back. Amon-Ra St. Brown goes at the end of the first. Like I said, I think Omarion Hampton is just a little overvalued right now. And I'll let other people take him there. That's just, to me, that's just a little bit of recency bias. Hopefully Pickens, we can end this these next two picks, his first 3 rounds with 2 good wide receivers here. JSN went. I didn't want to take him there. We'll see how this pick goes, and then I should be able to get one of these guys that I really like. One pick away. There went George Pickens. So I will go ahead and take Nico Collins. Bucky Irving is apparently getting an MRI, so that's kind of what I'm talking about too. His ADP is high. It's too high for me. I'm not taking him right now until we get some clarity on that. I mean, it might even be worth taking Rachaad White in one of these and just setting your swap rankings. Because what if Rachaad White gets thrust into a starting role? All right, who am I going to take here? I think I will bypass Chase. I will bypass Egbuka. I don't like Quentin Johnston there. I think I might just take Tyler Warren if he's available. Then I'll set up to get Breece Hall on the back around. So this guy took Justin Fields. That was early for Fields. It's crazy to not take Chase there as well. I'll probably do a few more of these tonight, and I might have to just gamble on Jamar Chase in 1 or 2 of these drafts because getting Jamar Chase in the 3rd round is crazy. What if Cincinnati can actually block a bit and, we see a big Chase game? Browning's first game with Chase, he played half of the game, but Chase had a 35-point game. You needed Chase that week. We'll see. I want to take Breece here when he comes back around. Does someone take Breece Hall? There goes my plan. Breece Hall, his ADP was 29. He just went at spot 16. So that's fine, though. I would totally take Tet there. If I take Tet, I would have a little ping pong stack with Devin Achon. Already took a tight end. This is so interesting. So I need another running back, and there's really a lot of value. You can get Trey Benson late, Woody Marks against Baltimore, Javonte, Dallas against the Jets. I do think I'm going to take Dallas here. I think with his early as Pickens is going, that could be some potential good leverage off of Pickens. Those Pickens builds, we got Pickens going in the second round. Like the scenario where Pickens could fail is he doesn't catch all the tutties like he did last week, and Javonte runs him in. So I want pieces of that game, and I'm securing it here with Javonte Williams. I also have Devin Achane and Tet as correlation here, so I'm good not stacking my quarterback. Like I'm willing to take Jaden Daniels if he makes it back to me. If he does not make it back to me, then I would take like Daniel Jones. Let's queue up a few guys here. Jaden Daniels. We can queue up Daniel Jones. We could do, if we want to get real contrarian, we could do a CJ Stroud, assuming like both of the quarterbacks go. And yeah, I think we're going to be okay here. We're either going to get Jaden Daniels or Daniel Jones. We'll see who this last guy picks. I'm guessing he's going to pick Hurts since he got A.J. Brown. Maybe he'll go Dak because he's got Pickens. There he went, Hurts. And clearly this draft, the field realized that Lamar Jackson's not going to play. I'm going to take Daniel Jones, or Jaden Daniels. My thought process here is if he doesn't play, and I checked before I did this draft, he is expected to play this week. If he doesn't play, I have the ability to swap to someone like Dak or Daniel Jones. So I would set my swap rankings and be able to get one of them. If he plays, I obviously have a very high upside quarterback. If we get news that he's playing Thursday, Friday, like he's going to shoot up and, he's going to be going like here, essentially. So that's a good leverage play. Like that's definitely a unique build. So I started off with Achane. Like I said, I like that game environment. Carolina, bad run team. So we got Achane going against Carolina, and I, was able to get a ping pong snap with McMillan. Nico Collins going against a terrible Ravens team. Like that pick for me. Like Tyler Warren, he's really kind of developing into one of the premier tight ends in the league. He can run at the goal line. They're scheming him up. He's a good pass catcher. So a lot there, and we need the upside, obviously. And then Tet. I think this is a good spot for Tet against a bad Miami secondary, a bad Miami defense. So, giving up almost 30 points a game. Javonte in that game environment that I think has shootout potential against the Jets, giving up 30 points a game. And then Jaden Daniels in what should be a competitive game against the Chargers. So pretty good first look draft. If you guys like these, again, hit that like button. Let me know a target for you in these Battle Royales on Underdog Fantasy. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. A lot more content coming your way, of course, this week, starting with the Showdown Breakdown tomorrow, Tournament Tactics on Friday. You name it, we got a lot of NFL DFS content coming your way. So we will see you all next week. Good luck this week, everyone. Helmets up.